Hey everyone, welcome back to another Godzilla battling video, and today we are taking a look at HEDORAH as a leader. Is she viable? Should you pass on her? Should she stay on the field? Let's take a look, right? So above me, we got all the prevalent information we're going to go over. Now my stats on the top might look different than yours. My HEDORAH is level 30. My HEDORAH has been level 30 for quite some time in the game. I really do love HEDORAH as a monster in the franchise. I love the HEDORAH movie, and I feel like I've been one of the proponents of like HEDORAH being very good in this game for the longest period of time, right? I've been using HEDORAH pretty much in all of my decks since season 3 or 4, whenever they made her like extremely easy to evolve. So I've done a lot of running of HEDORAH. So when Toho announced that HEDORAH was going to be a leader, I was pretty excited. I haven't been really running HEDORAH in last season's deck of mine and this season's as well. So I wanted to put her as my leader and see if she was up to snuff. I gotta tell you guys, I think her ability on paper reads really well. I do not think in practice it is very good. So let's read it. I know it's on the screen, but for those of you who maybe are not looking at the screen, I'll break it down for you right here. The Hedrium Bomb and Hedrium Ray. She's using 2 attacks at the same time. So energy cost is 3. Its cooldown is 90 seconds. So that's a pretty decent cost and cooldown that you can use it several times in a match. Deals 150 damage twice in a circle, and halves the placement time of targeted ally units for 30 seconds. So it hits twice. What happens is she drops like a sludge bomb like she normally does on the ground, and that's doing 150 damage, and then she's using her eye laser, and that's doing another 155. So you're hitting twice, so you're hitting for what, like 300 damage total with that, and then you can just drop your units faster on the field. I mean, on paper, that sounds fine. But if your deck isn't set up, like I'm on the screen here, my deck really wasn't set up, I don't think, ideally for the HEDORAH ability, right? I used it and I was able to place Burning Godzilla pretty quickly. Look how quickly Mothra Leo just got placed, right? That's good. You can really use this ability to crank out a ton of units all at once. You had 30 seconds to do it. I really don't think you're going to be making crazy plays with that. It seems good and fine on paper, but in practice, it's just there are other leader abilities that are better. I like this one. I don't think it's super useful. Maybe if it was one energy, I could see this. You drop it, and then you could just start dumping out units. But it takes up 3. So say you're saving up Batra and Burning Godzilla. That's a pretty good duo, right? Batra's got a buff. Burning Godzilla's been buffed like 4 times this year, so okay, let me save up 10 energy, drop HEDORAH's thing for 3, wait however many seconds it is for my 3 energies to come back, and then I drop Burning, and then I drop Batra, and then I probably have HEDORAH's ability left for maybe 10 seconds, and then I have no energy. So I've dropped 2 units, and they hit the field instantly, but I'm kind of like not, like I'm kind of out of luck. So unless you're using cheaper cost units to pair up with, like maybe like Manila, Kamacuras, who else is cheap? I don't think it would matter for Sunday. I'm trying to think of like cheap units. Why can I not think of anything cheap right now? I'm thinking just all 5 cost the 4th Angel, Burning Godzilla, stuff like that. I'm like totally blanking anything below 5 energy. But regardless, like I think on paper it's fine. I think with the proper deck, this can see play. I don't think it's the strongest leader ability we've ever had. I also don't think it's the worst leader ability we've ever had. I think that it's kind of situational, and if you're building like a rush type deck, maybe you can do like King Caesar, right? King Caesar is really good, and Bomber and Gigan just got buffed with their 10, so maybe you want to like get Caesar running real fast, because Caesar had the buff that makes it easier for them to transition into the running state. So maybe you use this and then drop Caesar and he just goes, right? I feel like there's a deck here that can work with this ability to like do really big pushes. But if you want to do big pushes, there are other better abilities to do this. Like one of the 2 that will gain you more energy in Desghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah. And we'll talk about Desghidorah's leader ability in a different video, but those 2 I think are pretty decent abilities, right? So Putting units down on the board faster is fine, but I would rather have more energy to put more units on the board. I don't care if I can get 2 units onto the board in half the time that it would take me to regularly get them on the board. I care if I could get a bunch of units on the board as fast as possible, because the game is about board control and your stats, right? At the end of the day, all these characters are stat sticks. You send them out to do what they need to do. Speaking of stats, I have on the screen level 30 HEDORAH leader stats, all right? The blue stuff is just from my studio mode and from my level, so you can ignore that. A lot of new players, if you are wondering what that's all from, you don't have to worry about that. That's just from my HEDORAH. Once your HEDORAH is at equal level with my HEDORAH and all that other stuff, it'll be the same. I'm rambling about it. HP at level 30, and I'm using level 30 here because mine's level 30, but also level 30 is a really good stopping point for characters to level up. You really don't need to go to 40 or 50 unless you're whaling and you have nothing else to spend on. If you're a regular player, 30 is a really good stopping point, and then get your team to 30 before you progress. So at level 30, HEDORAH has 10,310 HP, 430 ranged damage. She has long reach. She attacks every 2 seconds, and she has a wide search range. So she does have pretty good range for a leader. I don't think she's the best range. I still believe Space Godzilla and Ultima, I think, have longer range than her as a leader. I mean, Ultima is, like, phenomenal, right? She is alright. The range as a leader. Her attack speed is 2. The damage is alright. It's not, like, so crazy. Now, I'm going to read you the stats for another 3-star leader, and you're going to tell me what you think. This 3-star leader at level 30... Oh, I'm sorry, mine is 34, so actually that's not even accurate. Spoiler alert, it was G89. Hold on a second, bear with me, you guys. I have my stats sheet. I'll just pull that up. I don't know why I'm taking a scuffing this whole video up for you. Hold on, I'm speed running the data sheet, GBL data sheet. G section, Godzilla 89, I passed him, no, I see him, I passed him. G89, level 30 Godzilla 1989 as a leader has 10,310 HP and 559 damage and a 2.5 second attack speed at the same level as HEDORAH. G89 is a little bit slower, but has over 100 extra damage, but has the same health. Listen. I'm not going to tell you who you should be running as your primary leader. If you want to use HEDORAH as your leader for the challenges and everything, by all means, go for it. Do I think HEDORAH is going to be a meta leader, a meta-defining character? No. The stats on HEDORAH are pretty decent. The damage is alright. You're hitting an AoE with it. So as far as 3-star leaders go, she is viable in terms of stats, but she's also viable as a leader in the same way like that Mecha Godzilla is viable as a leader. Good stats, easy to level, but their ability leaves a lot to be desired, right? The other 2-star or 3-star leaders you could be using instead are G89 and Gigan. Both have very decent decks you can build around them. To build a deck that really takes advantage of this, you're going to have to use something that just gives you more energy, right? So I guess you could use energy base with this HEDORAH and like a bunch of lower cost units, like keep them 5 or under. But then you're going to be lacking on the battlefield. You don't want to get out like all of these like low cost characters, because then you're just going to get wiped by something strong. So I really like HEDORAH. I think her stats are good. They're not the best 3-star stats we have. Her stats are good. They're not the best. Her range is good. Her attack speed is good, right? The ability is like a mid ability. It is like a decent ability. It's not crazy. The Hedrium Bomb and the Hedrium Ray. If it was cheaper, if it was like 1 or 2, maybe I could see this seeing a little bit more play, but getting your units onto the field or getting your units to spawn in faster is not as good as getting more energy back to drop more things on the board. You can only drop so much with the energy that you have, but you could drop a lot more if you're charging up your energy. That's what I got for you guys today. Little bit of a long one. I think I did a lot of rambling. I'm just very underwhelmed with the HEDORAH leader herself. Although I will say, I think I think that there is a use case for her somewhere. I think she could be viable maybe eventually. And I say this a lot on streams and stuff like that, especially in the tier list, so a lot of longtime viewers will know this. But I always say that a unit could be bad today, but good tomorrow. We don't know what could get buffed, and we don't know what units will come in that will add on to... I think I just ripped a hole in my pants. That's not good. Ignore me. A unit could come today, a unit could come tomorrow that'll make another unit better, or there'll be other units that come in and synergize really well. You know, in 3 or 4 months from now, we could get a unit that synergizes extremely well with HEDORAH. Extremely well with HEDORAH. But for now, she's just kind of a mid option. A lot of people probably have her already leveled up because she's been extremely viable as a unit on the field for a really long time. So if you want to use her, I highly recommend it. If you want to complete those challenges for the season, go for it, get after it. If you want to use her regularly in battle, I don't see why there's a reason not to. Just know that if you run her as your leader, there are better leader options, and she's better on the field, but I don't really think it's like you're doing any harm by using her. It's not like that completely detrimental, but it's not amazing either. She's just aggressively okay, and that sucks. I really like HEDORAH. That's what I got for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.